We only see reality based on pattern recognition. I memorize your face, now I know Lewis. And if the pattern matches, I know. But if you're creating a future, and you're not clear on that future, and you want all these things, but you haven't addressed all those circuits and behaviors and emotions and chemicals of the past, you won't recognize the pattern. You'll walk right past the relationship. You'll never see it. So I think that there's the preparation for the relationship, the overcoming, and overcoming and overcoming and overcoming and overcoming and becoming.
Ooh.
All of a sudden now says, I am worthy. And the universe only gives us what we think we're worthy of receiving. So when you're worthy to receive, it's not going to be on Match.com when you're looking at body parts and whatever else. This is going to be like ka-ching.
An energy connection.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like that came out of nowhere, because when you're in survival, and you're in separation, and you're in lack, and you're forcing and controlling and trying to predict outcomes, you're matter trying to change matter. And of course, it's going to take time for this to happen, because you're creating in three-dimensional reality, and everything in three-dimensional reality, it takes time. Mm-hmm. But when you're creating from the heart, with a coherent brain and a coherent heart, and you got that 5G Wi-Fi signal, it's not like you go anywhere now. The experiences are coming to, you're drawing the event to you.
When we activate the alert or emergency system, it changes something within us. Our response to a perceived threat throws us out of balance, pushing us into survival mode. In survival mode, we want to rush through tasks, unable to be fully present. Fear and hostility dominate our thinking in this emotional state. The sympathetic response, the emergency switch being on, prepares us for something unpredictable, an unknown we can't control. This survival system taps into our animal nature, using up our body's vital resources meant for health and regeneration. While it's beneficial in the short term, repeatedly triggering this rush of energy conditions us to it, teaching people to self-regulate, guiding them back to the present moment, and helping them shorten their emotional responses is crucial. Reacting is natural, but the key is how long you let that reaction last. Prolonged reactions hinder your ability to perceive changes in your environment, making you more affected by it. The process involves getting back to the present moment, self-regulation, and transforming fear into other emotions. This practice not only does the emotional work, but also signals the immune system. Energy is redirected towards healing, repair, and creation. Instead of losing energy, you gain it. This energizes the immune system to combat invaders, viruses, and bacteria. By being less emotionally responsive, you become less physically responsive to your environment, gaining more energy. Empowering people with this knowledge allows them to make different choices, demonstrating new behaviors and creating new experiences. As you apply this knowledge, your biology changes, and you start to step away from your old self. This transformative journey is what we encourage, where biology adapts as you learn and grow. Often I set aside time, like an hour, to connect with people. Blind people gaining sight, deaf individuals hearing, and stage 4 cancers going into remission. Tumors vanishing from various parts of the body, even in children. One memorable tale is about a nurse in London who had a stroke, causing blindness in both eyes' lower quadrant. Clinically blind and unable to work, her life took a toll. After trying various doctors with no improvement, a colleague suggested our program. Initially, she just wanted to learn coping strategies, not expecting to heal her vision. Halfway through, something clicked, and she decided to give it a shot. During a meditation, she felt a crackling in her brain, and when she opened her eyes, she had fully recovered. It's stories like these that make our work incredibly rewarding. We have medical scans proving her blindness. The before scan shows darkness between 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock. After our event, the Monday morning scan reveals no black spots, complete recovery, a total change in her vision. She's still doing well today. We saw her in Munich in February. It's incredible. Going from clinically blind to seeing clearly is another level of inspiration. Now, a lot of you are expressing gratitude, which is fantastic. Before we move on, type in the chat what you're most grateful for today. Gratitude is essential for positive energy and clear thinking. It's a field of love and positivity that helps us make better decisions. Research shows that when you feel gratitude, your body reacts as if something favorable just happened to you. The emotional signature of gratitude is powerful. It signals to your body that good things are coming. Your body can't distinguish between an actual experience and an emotion you create with your thoughts. So, feeling gratitude for your future elevates your energy, making that future feel more real. Just 15 minutes of gratitude a day can boost your immune system by 50%. The gland in your heart center, the thymus, releases chemicals that strengthen your immune system. This internal army protects your cells and sets your body up for resilience against the external environment. Gratitude is like a natural flu shot, building your internal defense against challenges. To me, this situation is a fantastic opportunity cleverly disguised as a seemingly impossible challenge. I won't face this challenge with the same level of consciousness. I need to elevate to a higher level of awareness and consciousness. This means creating, inventing, and finding new ways to connect, influence the Earth's field, and shape different outcomes in reality. It's not about one person. It's about a new consciousness emerging, free from fear. Living in fear gives power to what we fear, and we don't want to be victims of our circumstances. Instead, we should create different circumstances. Facing this challenge as an opportunity for a greater consciousness to emerge, a collective consciousness that sees through the illusion of separation. We can connect in a field of information, creating one mind and one heart, like birds flying in formation or fish swimming in a school. We need to step beyond relying solely on governments, churches, or medicine to take care of us. It's a moment in history where we must take care of ourselves. Let's not wait. Let's create. Maybe we're here for an awakening and we can't be afraid, angry, or resentful. This different frequency of consciousness will allow us to see things from a higher level of mind. Simply changing everything around you won't necessarily change your DNA if you're still unhappy. Your dominant emotion keeps certain genes expressed. Changing your mindset, thinking differently, feeling differently, and acting differently in a new environment can potentially lead to the expression of new genes and positive changes. However, if you have a positive environment but don't shift your mindset, you could still be in a negative state emotionally. Your mindset is crucial, as it influences your state of being and how your genes respond to the environment. And that's the scoop on that. If you have any questions or thoughts, feel free to share. The environment around your cells is vital, but the internal environment of your body is equally important. The emotion you feel is what signals the genes and cells. When you experience an emotion, it's information from your environment coming through your senses. This information instructs your genes, leading to the creation of new proteins and expressions of new life. However, staying in the same emotional state is crucial for this change to persist. When you combine a clear intention for your future with an elevated emotion, stronger than past shocks or betrayals, you condition your brain and body for the future. The strongest emotion becomes the signal for gene expression, shifting the focus from the external environment to your internal experience. This way, you're not waiting for circumstances to change. You're actively creating the change. How many of you believe that your thoughts have an impact on your life? That the way you think is closely tied to your future? If you think your thoughts shape your reality, then consider this. You have about 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day. Shockingly, 90% of these thoughts are the same as the ones you had the day before. So, if your thoughts are connected to your life, It means that the same thoughts lead to the same choices. Those choices, in turn, lead to the same behaviors, creating the same experiences. And these experiences generate the same emotions, which circle back to drive the very same thoughts. Your biology, neural circuitry, neurochemistry, hormones, and even your genetics are influenced by how you think, act, and feel. This combination is your personality, shaping your personal reality. To create a new life, you can't stick to the same personality. You need to examine your thoughts, become aware of your unconscious patterns, and modify automatic habits. Look at the emotions tied to your past and question if they belong in your future. Many people attempt to change their reality while maintaining the same personality, but that doesn't work. You literally need to become someone else. Your brain is a reflection of everything you've learned and experienced until now. It's like a record of the past. To create a new life, you must transform and become a new version of yourself. So, let's say you start your day by following the same routine, waking up, hitting the alarm, heading to the bathroom, sipping coffee from your favorite mug, showering, driving to work, interacting with the same people, and repeating the same familiar tasks. The question is, did your brain undergo any changes on that day? In the realm of neuroscience, there's a crucial principle. Nerve cells that fire together wire together. This means that if you consistently think the same thoughts, make the same choices, and perform the same behaviors, you're essentially hardwiring your brain into specific patterns. As you repeatedly fire and wire the same neural circuits, they become more connected and established. By the time you reach around 35 years old, according to scientific findings, you become a collection of memorized behaviors, automatic habits, emotional reactions, beliefs, and attitudes. Think of it as operating like a computer program where your body knows how to perform certain actions better than your conscious mind. Why is this significant? Well, 95% of your behaviors, attitudes, thoughts, beliefs, and emotional reactions are driven by subconscious programs. But here's the key. When you learn something new, you're forging new connections in your brain. Learning involves creating fresh synaptic connections, a physical manifestation of your interaction with the environment. This process leaves behind the footprints of consciousness, and it's what we call learning. In the year 2000, Nobel Prize laureate Kandel made a fascinating discovery about our brains. He found that when people learned something new, their brain connections doubled, from 1,300 to 2,600 connections. But here's the catch. If they didn't review, repeat, or remember that information, those connections started to fade within hours or days. Imagine learning as creating new connections in your brain, and remembering as maintaining and sustaining those connections. This week, you've been here to absorb crucial information about crafting a future driven by a vision, rather than being confined by past memories. Here's the deal. If you lack a vision bigger than yourself, if you're not passionate about that vision, you're stuck with the old hardware of your past in your brain. Without a compelling vision, you remain predictable in your life. So, let's agree that new thoughts and information should lead to new choices, which should trigger new behaviors, creating fresh experiences that bring about new emotions. This process forms a loop, and we call it evolution. If your brain is essentially a record of the past, and you lack a vision for the future, you end up living in the past. If you wake up without being inspired by a vision that excites you and pulls you out of bed, you'll likely repeat the same routine, controlled by the old emotions stored in your body. The key to true change is thinking greater than your environment, circumstances, and the conditions around you. Think beyond the familiar, just as historical figures like Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, the Wright brothers, and Joan of Arc did. They all envisioned a future so vividly in their minds that they started living as if that reality was already unfolding in the present moment. So, when you finally decide to break free from the same old choices you've been making, brace yourself because it's going to feel uncomfortable. This is the point where you're steering toward your new self, and we like to call it stepping into the river of change. Now, let's keep in mind that a whopping 95% of who you are is ingrained in your body. Your body has become so efficient at certain actions that it often takes the lead, even without you consciously realizing it. Picture this. You might have been complaining unconsciously for a while because your body has gotten used to it. But the moment you decide, no more complaining, blaming, or feeling sorry for myself, your body starts sending signals to the brain. It's like your body has been conditioned to follow this pattern, and suddenly you hear thoughts in your head saying, "Why not start tomorrow? Tomorrow will be a better day. This is too hard for me. I can't change. Something's wrong with me." The excuses pile up, and it's easy to attribute blame to external factors. However, if you respond to these thoughts as if they're true, you end up making the same choices, engaging in the same behaviors, reliving the same experiences, and feeling the same emotions. This cycle leads to a sense of comfort and familiarity, keeping you tethered to the old self. But here's the game changer. Transitioning from the old self to the new self involves stepping into the unknown. It's like undergoing a biological, neurological, chemical, hormonal, and genetic transformation, a metaphorical death of the old self. Some may fear the unknown, stating that they can't predict their future in that space. Our response is always the same. The best way to predict your future is to create it, not from the known, but from the unknown. Embracing the unknown is where the magic truly happens, something that never occurs in the known. Thank you so much for sticking around till the end of this video. Your commitment to personal growth and positive change is truly inspiring. If you found value in this video, consider hitting the subscribe button below. By subscribing, you become part of a community dedicated to elevating lives and embracing the power of transformation. And hey, if you enjoyed this content, you're in for a treat. Explore more insightful videos on your left and right. Our diverse range of content is designed to spark curiosity, inspire change, and keep you engaged on your path to personal development. Your support means the world to us.